Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Naimbag nga bigat yo amin apo and half a day. It's February 4th and it's the fourth episode of my show, Kababayan, kayo. Welcome. This morning, today, we're going to have a lot to show. So just stay tuned and enjoy the show. The weather today is so nice. I was looking on my way down here. Weather towards the south is clear as well as towards the north. Unfortunately, every morning I come to do the show every Saturday. I have to start off early before 6 a.m. And a couple of times I almost got hit head on, by the stoplight at the intersection, making left to the Aganya Shopping Center, making my way to the DNA building. So twice that had happened. But this morning, I am so pleased to see that, and I'm sure everybody has seen that, the markers, the yellow markers and the white markers from that stoplight towards First Hawaiian Bank, they've refurbished those markers. So we have very visible white markings and the yellow markings, and all the way up to the stoplight going to the making left turn to the airport. So, DPW is on the road, and thank you, DPW, because it makes our driving safe. You know, there's a lot of trending news from the Philippines, but by the time I get it, it's already, well, not so stale. But what's trending now, and there's this saying in Filipino, maraming marites, who are the gossip mongers, mongers or whatever you call them, and Marisol, the one who just keep pushing and pushing on the issue until it dies down. So one of the things that have come up on the tube, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, is the question: who is really the decision maker in Malacanang? Okay, is it President Bongbong Marcos, or is it his wife Liza Araneta Marcos? That's the first lady. That's his wife's name. It's been said. It's a rumor that a lot of resignation, as well as just forcing, executive staff from Malacanang is allegedly caused by the First Lady, Liza Araneta Marcos. And so now it's a talk around the Philippines that she's making those decisions, who will sit in Malacanang next to her husband. One of those, earlier on, when President Bongbong Marcos got elected, his executive officer, namely Attorney Rodriguez, he was the one that, from 2 years before the campaign started, he was already the brain behind the campaign. Shortly after President Bongbong Marcos won the election, he was still around, but unfortunately, somebody fired him because of rumors and what have you, enviousness, and just a lot of bad stuff were said about Attorney Rodriguez. So he left, he quit. And I don't know if he's been given a position. Now, another one is attorney, I forgot her name, but her last name is Angeles. She's female, attorney Angeles, and she headed the Malacanang press corps. She was forced to leave also, or or they made issues about her, and she left, not very happy, and people in politics are saying that the first lady has something to do with that. For attorney Rodriguez and attorney Angeles leaving Malacanang. So that's the trend right now. That's the trending news right now in the Philippines. That the question being, who is making the decision in Malacanang? Is it President Bongbong Marcos or his wife, Liza Araneta Marcos? I don't know. We don't know until we're there as part of if we have the opportunity to witness what's going on, and the only way for journalists to witness that is to be a part of the Malacanang press corps. So interesting, it's sad. Anyway, here on Guam, Senator William A. Parkinson last week, excuse me, introduced resolution urging the governor to petition the Department of Homeland Security for a Filipino visa waiver. Now, this subject has been ongoing here. I remember former Governor Carl Gutierrez, when I worked with him during his speakership tenure at the Guam legislature. He was on this, and he did his best. He's still doing his best to make the visa waiver for Filipino citizens possible. Anyway, but a press release was from the office of Senator William A. Parkinson says Senator Will Parkinson introduced Resolution 14-37 urging the governor to petition the Department of Homeland Security for a Filipino visa waiver after attending a meeting with the Guam Visitors Bureau. In the meeting, GVB President Carl Gutierrez, my former boss, stressed the need for a Filipino tourist visa waiver to further the economic recovery efforts from the pandemic. Federal Public Law 110-229, the Consolidated Natural Resources Act of 2008, states that the governor has the authority to petition the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to expand the Guam CNMI visa waiver program to include the Philippines. That has been ongoing for, oh my God, maybe 4 decades already. With a burgeoning middle class and a fast-growing economy, the Philippines is poised to be a beneficial tourism market for Guam if the tourist visa waiver were in place. With many people on Guam having strong ties to the Philippines, the visa waiver would draw tourists looking to visit family on Guam. And in Tagalog, he wrote, his office wrote, ang pagbibisita sa pamilya ay isang napakahalagang bahagi ng ating buhay. Ang pagkakakita sa ating mga mahal sa buhay ay nagbibigay sa atin ng kalakasan at inspirasyon upang harapin ang mga pagsubok sa buhay. Sumusuporta ako sa visa waiver para sa mga Pilipino na papuntang Guam, says Senator Parkinson, who speaks Tagalog, by the way, and his wife is a Filipino. Okay? A Philippine visa waiver would bolster our tourism recovery and encourage trade and investment from the Philippines. This would create more jobs and business opportunities for a local people, said Senator Parkinson. But remember, if they're coming here as a tourist, if we're going to have a visa waiver, then, that's all they are, a tourist. They'll be granted a visa to be a tourist by the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines. Now, if they were to do business here, then they would have to go in a different category of visa. It's all good, but like I said, 3 or 4 decades ago, one of the concerns of immigration was the fact that if tourists are given visa here for Filipinos, there's always that possibility that they may not go back to the Philippines. As a matter of fact, I remember when I was with the Guam Tribune, 1986-87, I believe the Philippines came number 3 as the most risky country where tourists don't go back. They always stay back in the United States, whether it's in Guam or continental United States. And they're called TNT. And I'm sure many have heard what TNT means. It means tago ng tago. It means hiding and hiding. When they step into the U.S. Land. And so that's, mainly the concern of the immigration. Now, something has to be established to guarantee that they go back to the Philippines. Okay, could be in a bond form, or it could be. I know in the Philippines when they apply, they look at their, the consuls at the American embassy would require Filipino tourist applicants to provide, their bank accounts. They have to declare their bank accounts. They have to declare their assets, like, real estate and all that. And I know that there is a cap. There is a certain amount that the American embassy takes into consideration. And we're not just talking about, hundred thousands of pesos. I think it goes to millions. So it's a stringent requirement. And that's something that has to be worked. Although the American embassy does not require bond. I don't know how they're going to work it. Now, if a Filipino tourist qualifies, though, there's a big chance that they get like a multiple entry for 10 years. But they must go through all the requirements. And I don't know all the requirements. I know that they look into the assets of every applicant. Okay? And it's a good idea, but it hasn't happened as far as I remember. But I wish, I wish Senator Will Parkinson all the best in introducing this, and I hope the governor pays attention, because we do have a lot of we have the Filipino community here who would like to see their relatives come and visit, but it's only that guarantee that, if they're here for 30 days or whatever amount of time, that they go back and make good. Otherwise, they'll stay TNT, and that's not gonna be good for the visa waiver. You know, immigration, the U.S. Department of Immigration can always, put that into place, but they can also take it back. So, yeah, good luck with that. We're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, I'm gonna talk about, an interesting subject. Okay?
Island Family Pharmacy is committed to providing care and service that goes beyond dispensing prescriptions. We offer personalized services focused on quality care, outstanding customer experience with prompt and professional attention. At our pharmacy, you are family.
Welcome back to Kababayan, Kasali Kayo. I'm Sally Aquino, the host of the show. About a week ago, I was just walking around GPO, and I got hungry, and I was heading down to the food court, and I saw on my right hand side, there's some spaces that have closed up. Those small merchant spaces for rent. Right next to Tommy Hilfiger, there's still a display of the Japanese School of Guam on the subject of calligraphy. So students came up with their calligraphy skills and had a display there. And we'll show you the video right after what I talk about a little bit about calligraphy. Calligraphy is not a natural talent possessed by, for example, renowned Renaissance artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Vincent van Gogh. Okay, calligraphy is a visual art form to make an impression or beautiful handwriting, and it takes discipline with the use of a brush. This is my makeup brush. I'm sorry, I don't have a painting brush. So it's a visual art with the use of a brush and using the brush with a disciplined flow and graceful strokes. And I'm gonna show you a video of the two of the Japanese school students. Graceful strokes and requires hours of practice with focus and patience. Patience is the key. It is not easy, but once you hone your calligraphy skills, it is very, very uplifting. You can be very, very proud of what you produce. The practice of calligraphy has been used for centuries to improve mental health, such as emotional stability, conscientiousness, self-sufficiency, and ability to increase high learning. Okay, and so Isaac, can we show the clips on the display at GPO? Okay. So, okay, we have a closer look Uh, and these are the calligraphy of students from the Japanese school of Guam from first grade to the fourth grade, I believe. See how beautiful that is? Oh, I was so amazed. I stayed for maybe 10 minutes just looking at it. And although I don't understand what those are, but you know, just the way it's drawn, it's beautiful. So we have the first grader, the second grade, and the third and the fourth. Okay. And I went further, and I went to the Japanese school of Guam, located in Manila, and I said I'd like to see and video an actual, you know, drawings that some of the students do. Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to introduce Mr. Sato. He is the calligraphy instructor. On what grade, Mr. Sato? What grades are they in?
Fourth and fifth.
Fourth and fifth. Okay. So, what is your name?
My name is Noel Wilson.
Noel.
Yes.
So, can you show me what you do in calligraphy?
We do suji, and with suji, you have to write a. So it's in Japanese. It's called moji, and
What is a muji?
so you have to write so. Without there's supposed to be a paper right here, and you're going to set it like this, and you're supposed to copy the other side.
Okay, I understand. Where are you from, Noel?
I am from Guam.
I know, but you have an accent.
Because my dad is New Zealand and my mom is Japanese.
I thought so too. One of them is from New Zealand. So that's wonderful. Do you want to point out something else, Mr. Sato?
まずなぞるよ。3本で3本3本で今これ墨つけてないね。
Mr. Sato
Yeah.
is teaching Noel skills
こう
on
書く順ね。
brushing.
ワン、ツー、スリーでこうつなげてこうシューここもつなげてシューシュー
Okay.
でここもつながってる感覚をそのままにしてここまで一気でここも跳ねてるでしょ跳ねて本当はここ跳ねないでしょ Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So Noel, what did Mr. Sato?
Can you stop the video for a minute, Zach? Yeah, just for a couple of minutes, okay? Because I wanted to explain.
Okay. Oh, so you think you're gonna
Yes.
do okay?
Okay, so Noel, that handsome young man there, he's a fourth grader. What he was explaining to me was this. So they take, Mr. Sato, the instructor, gives them a plain paper, okay? And they put that white paper over a blackboard so the children, it's not plain, so it has already a figure like this, okay? So what Noel was doing was he took that and he was tracing this on another paper. So if you watch carefully, so it went like this, okay? This is the graceful stroke, and this is the discipline. If Noel started tracing, okay, let's say he starts here. Okay, so what he does is go like this with a stroke. Now here's the discipline. Noel cannot go jump from here to there. So the flow has to go from here, okay? Stroke there, upward, and then go here or go here, but he cannot move from here to there. Okay, I hope you see that. That's part of the discipline. And students of calligraphy at that age, fourth and fifth, they're very good at discipline. So they know that they cannot, if they're tracing something, they cannot go from here to there or from here to there. The flow has to remain in that same area. So interesting. Now, hold on, Zach. So here, Noel gave me this to show on screen and also as a gift. He's such a handsome boy. His mother is Japanese and his dad is from New Zealand. So let's continue with the video with Olive the Kanai, the fifth grader young lady. So Sato is teaching Olive the flow. You see the brush? Yeah, see? And then jumps to
the flow of the brush.
exactly.
What is your name? Olivia Dakanai. Okay, beautiful name. Okay, and how old are you? What grade are you?
I'm fifth grade and I'm 10.
Okay, 10 years old. Okay, is this your first time to do it?
No.
Okay, so you've done it. How many years have you done the calligraphy?
Since I was in third grade.
Wow, third grade, and you're in fifth grade now.
Yeah.
That's been a long time. Okay, so can you show me? So she is retracing, right, Mr. Sato? Okay. Just to get the feel of it, Arya is retracing. So she has the flow of the brush. Exactly. Okay. So that upper brush. Okay. All right. So,
Image. No. Okay, image.
okay, so now she's retracing. And I guess it's a practice so that they get the feel of it and the discipline from one point to the other. So they're doing retracing. Yeah. So it's a practice.
どうする？なぞる、それともなぞりたい、それともつけ込んでいきたい？なぞりたい。なぞる。じゃあ、どうぞ。
Okay. So Arya and Noel are gonna start with the color, with the paint, the actual paint, right? Yes. Awesome.
で、トントン。そう。
Oh, yes.
ここもつなげて、そう。
Oh, wow. That's a very dainty stroke, right, Arya? Yes. And so you take the brush upward so that it doesn't get messed up. Nice, I love it. Yes. Very nice. Arya, thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Oh, so what happened here, Noel? It's a little bit thick, right? But that's okay. It still looks good. How long have you been doing this, Noel?
I don't know.
How many years?
I say like 1 year.
Okay. 1 year. With your New Zealand accent. So cute. Nice. So what does that say, Noel? What you just calligraphed. What does that say?
I don't really know that.
Oh, okay. Mr. Sato, do you know?
教えたやろさっき。
教えてないよ。
教えたよじゃあ言ってんの。
What do you call that, Arya?
ベニバナ。
It's a type of flower.
Benny
ベニバナ。
Bana. Wow, I got a.
Hana means a flower.
Oh, it's a
This
flower.
one, Benny means red.
Okay. Nice. Did you do this yourself too, Arya?
No, print.
Oh, it's a print. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Sato, Noel is on his first year, right? He's been doing this for first year. Well, she's been doing it for 2 years, right?
Not actually, but in full time school at he studied already.
Oh,
But
how long? 1 year?
From from third grade.
Uh-huh.
So maybe he already started the 2 year.
Oh, 2 years.
Yeah, this is a 2 year.
And Arya is?
3.
3. Okay, okay.
She's her name is Olivia.
Olivia, I'm so sorry. Arya is your grandmother, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Where did I get Arya? That's what I heard.
つないでもう一気に感じでそのまますぐそう
なんか
オッケーオッケーオッケーオッケー
あれ紅
が大きいんだね
めっちゃでっかい。So big.
ノールはまだノール
ティーチャー too big.
まあベリーがね
Yeah.
でもいいオッケーオッケーこれ流れるよ流れるよ
Olivia, you're very good.
Thank you.
そうそう
Are you going to give those to us? Are you going to give that to me, for example, Mr. Tato? I can display it in my office.
ああいやオッケー
Domo. Okay, so I'm going to switch to Noel again. Just redoing it.
いいねつなげんだよつなげんの
He's a very handsome boy and he does a very handsome job. Right, Noel?
Yes.
You say yes?
You're just being honest, right?
こっちすぎ。
Oh,
Nice. That's a very nice one, Noel.
そうそうああもっと柔らかくていいですもう2を書くのが2を書く数字
Again, they're still doing retracing,
Yeah.
and it's emphasized for skills training, right, Mr. Sato? Retracing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so you try.
Yes. Mr. Sato, so thank you so much
Oh, no, it's okay.
for allowing me to video your class, sir. Okay, and thank you for giving me a sample. Okay.
I hope you enjoyed that video um, with Noel and Olivia. This this is the work of Olivia. Olivia has been doing calligraphy, attending calligraphy classes at the Japanese School of Guam for 3 years now, while Noel, I think, is just over or nearing 2 years. Okay, and so they're both beautiful, and I really appreciate. This is from Noel, that handsome lad there, and I love it. So this two sample is are the same, okay, and it's called benibana. It's a kind of it's a Japanese flower. So I'm gonna treasure this. I'm gonna put it in my collection, and that was nice, right, Isaac? But it was so nice for the Japanese School of Guam to have allowed me to go into the classroom of Mr. Sato. Thank you so much, Mr. Sato. And if you notice, there's only two students in his class, but his other classes and other instructors' classes can be up to 4 or 5, okay? But these are more of the advanced calligraphy students. And but I love it. I'm already thinking about, oh, when my granddaughter reaches the age of 6, she can start on this, because it does increase the ability for high learning. We'll be right back after a short break, and we'll talk about we'll go to segment 3, and we'll talk about the school, the Japanese school of Guam.
Island Family Pharmacy is committed to providing care and service that goes beyond dispensing prescriptions. We offer personalized services focused on quality care, outstanding customer experience with prompt and professional attention. At our pharmacy, you are family.
Welcome back to Kababayan, Kasali Kayo, and we're on segment 3 of today's episode number 4. Now we're gonna go into. I had the opportunity to tour the Japanese School of Guam, and I'm just gonna, what do you call this? Talk about the brief history, how it came to Guam. It was established. At the very beginning, it was established to service the executives and their families, their children especially, so that the school was established so that the children of these executives of the different hotels have a school where they can learn. They speak fluent Japanese, so they're given that opportunity for their children to learn English as a second language. Okay, so before establishing the school in Manila, some of the classes were held at oh my goodness, different places, like the hotels. Sometimes it was held at St. John's and PIC, Antabuning Elementary School, okay? And that was way back in 1972. So the hotel executives can send their children to learn English as a second language. Now, in April 1990, the campus in Manila opened, and the gymnasium was completed in June 2013. When I went to the office of the school about a week ago, I thought that they only took in students who spoke fluent Japanese and to learn, English as a second language. Well, I was wrong, and I apologize. So we're going to have an interview because one of the English teachers would explain that many of the students who are enrolled now, as a matter of fact, speak English fluent and Japanese at the same time. So it's to learn English as a second language and to teach English as a second language is not at all that challenging. But the opportunity to learn Japanese and English at the same time for non-Japanese speakers is there, okay? So I have an interview because of that misconception I had that I thought only fluent Japanese-speaking students can enroll at the Japanese school. No, they speak English very well, maybe better than I do. So we're gonna do a clip on this interview with Mrs. Catherine Doherty. She's an English teacher and she's a math teacher and so forth. Zach, can we show that, please?
Hi, Miss Catherine.
Hello.
Mrs. Catherine Duterte, right?
Doherty.
Doherty.
They
Okay.
call me Mrs. D.
Mrs. D.
Yes, that's easier.
Hi. Mrs. Doherty, where I'm taking this live here at the Japanese school. And ladies and gentlemen, my guest this afternoon is Catherine Doherty from the Japanese School of Guam. And we're going to talk about English as a second language to students who don't speak fluent English or know very little. Okay, so Miss Catherine, I have a few questions for you. Okay, how long have you been teaching in this school?
I actually moved to Guam July of 2020, so right in the middle of COVID, and I began teaching here in January of 2021.
Okay, so you've been here
2 years now.
2 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And what grade are you teaching?
We teach them all.
Okay.
So we start English program because we have K4, K5, and we have 1st through 9th graders. And we start the English program with the 1st graders.
Okay.
But we keep 1st and 2nd grade separate. So Miss Wall teaches the 1st graders, I teach the 2nd graders. And then from those, the 3rd through 9th, we combine them. So 3rd and 4th are combined, but we do 2 separate classes.
Okay.
Then 5th and 6th are combined into 2 separate classes. And then we have junior high combined, so 7th, 8th, and 9th, but into 2 separate classes.
2 sets of classes?
Yes.
2 sets of separate classes?
Yep, yes.
Okay, all right. So with that in mind, so the grade that you teach, which is, let's start from the very low level.
So
okay?
my youngest grade is 2nd grade, yeah.
2nd grade,
Mhm.
okay. That's almost like 1st grade.
Oh, it's pretty close.
Yes. So, do they speak English at all when they come to the school?
So our current group of 2nd graders has almost all native English speakers in it. So yes, we have a combination here at the
Okay.
school. But if they start in the K4 and K5 and they don't speak any Japanese, they start learning Japanese. And then as they move up, the reason we have the English program the way we do is because the teachers, as well as other Japanese workers that come to Guam to work, will come on a work visa, which is of course a limited visa. You can only come for a certain amount of time. So while they're here, they don't want to lose the schooling that they would get in Japan. So we follow the Japanese school system. So our students, the English part of it though, some of them may come here and they may not speak any English at all yet. But luckily, our current group of second graders, if they aren't native speakers, they've been here for a little bit. So they at least have a little bit of English. We did get one new student this year. So she actually, I do have one in the class that started with no English at all.
How old is she?
I don't know, probably 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's go to that student that you just mentioned. How hard is it? How do you get her to be comfortable to learn something different?
Well, luckily enough, since of course the rest of the class does know Japanese, you get translators. That definitely helps.
Yes.
And the fact that we start with the basics. We're starting with phonics. In second grade, at the beginning of the school year, we're still doing what are called CVC words, which is consonant, vowel, consonant. So the short, like cat, dog,
Yes.
the short, easy words.
Right.
So they start learning them and learning the sounds that go with them, like cat, C-A-T, act.
Simple.
Yes.
Simple words.
Oh, yes. And words that they would know what it is, of course, obviously. You
Right.
have to know what it is, because even if it's a simple word, but it's a concept that they wouldn't, they'd be like, what?
Yes.
Why? I don't get it.
Yes.
So yes, it's basics.
So the particular behavior of this girl is not so. She's not confused at all.
Oh, no,
Okay.
because, when we start, like for my thing, I break because we have them for 3 days. So I break my 3 days up into 3 separate things that I teach. And for that age group, day 1 is reading and phonics. So we work on reading and phonics and sounding things out. Day 2 is listening and speaking, because you have to be able to understand when people are saying, and of course I'll speak a little slower. Not speak as fast as you're used to speaking when you're speaking with everybody else that understands English.
Right.
Try and use of course, the smaller words and things like that. And so they can listen, but then of course be able to give it back. And we work on an accent, making sure that they can be understood, because even if you speak the language, if your accent is so thick, people can't understand you, it's not going to do you any good. So we work on the accent with the speaking part as well.
Okay.
And then the last day is the spelling and vocabulary. And that's where we work, a little more phonics gets in there because of the spelling.
Yes. Yes.
But yes, that's where we work on not just being able to spell the words, but knowing what they mean. Because you're not going to use them if you don't know what they mean.
Exactly. Right. And that's one way of learning any language.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes. My question is, was there ever a sign of frustration on her part?
Not for her. I have had students that sometimes, not frustration in the class as a whole, but occasionally a specific subject. Because when we start expanding the vocabulary as they get older, we'll start expanding vocabulary into other subject areas like math vocabulary, science vocabulary. Because if they stay here past 9th grade, they're going to go into the English schools for 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Right.
And so they've got to know these words and these subject materials in order to be able to do well in the English-speaking schools. So sometimes you come across certain words or something where they're just not getting it. It's like they learned it in Japanese, so they know the concept, but trying to get the English part of that concept, sometimes they'll be like, wait, what? But they work through it. They do really well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. So how long so we have this girl or this student who's 7 or 8 years old. Is she in the 2nd grade level already?
No, not English speaking wise. No, she's in
okay.
second grade here in the school.
Okay.
And
okay.
since second grade doesn't get split up between proficient and standard, it's all
Okay.
one class.
Understood.
What we do is
Yeah.
you kind of have to try and differentiate what you're working with your papers and things. So like if I do a little reading thing, we'll ask questions about what we read. So instead of writing her answers, maybe she'll draw a picture. So that way she can still show that she understood the story.
Visual.
Right, yes, but not have to use words that she may not be able to use in English yet.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
The differentiation is huge really in classes in general, because you can have, even in the English schools, because I went to school to teach high school math. So, and I'm now teaching English, right? But I went to school to teach high school math, and even in that sense, granted, because it's high school, they're usually not in that math class unless they're supposed to be in that math class. But even then, depending on the specific concept you're teaching, some will grasp it quicker than others. So you have to be able to differentiate the homework that you give, the way you teach,
The
all
techniques.
different things. Yes, the techniques,
Yes.
to be able to make sure that everybody gets equal footing in learning what they're supposed to learn.
Now, I can't imagine though, if you're aware, let me ask this question. I can't imagine though, for let's say, a K5,
Mm-hmm.
okay, entering into an English as a second language. What's the scenario there?
So here, with our kindergarten classes, our K4s and K5s, they're either completely fluent in Japanese and they're not learning English yet. They won't start till first grade. Or they're here and they only speak English and they're actually starting to learn Japanese in their K4 because their whole class is done in Japanese.
Okay, so let's take somebody that enters have you ever had a student entering first grade
Mm-hmm.
that speaks fluent Japanese
And no English
and no
yet?
English?
Oh yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the
we get those.
scenario there?
It starts the same way, because in first grade we start with the really basics. We start with A. A says ah for short A and A for long A. Now granted, you don't usually start with A, but to make it easier, for us, just going through the alphabet,
Okay.
you would then go, then B, and B goes B, and then C, and C could, this is why you don't start at the beginning, because already with C, you have a difficult one, because it could be spork, right? And then the kids start going, wait, what? So you start with more basic letters like B, E, B, D, D, the ones that have one sound, nice and
Mhm,
simple.
mhm.
And because they have to actually start learning the letters first, because they don't write the same way in Japanese that we do now. They can write it out with our letters, but that's not their typical writing that they use. So yeah, you have to teach the alphabet. You got to start, just like the Do Re Mi song from Sound of Music. When
Okay.
you learn to read, you start with A, B, C,
Yeah.
right? And you learn to sing, you start with Do Re Mi.
So in a given first grade class, how many in your experience are there more non-English speaker or?
Well, right now we're in a current very interesting spot. Typically, yes, typically there used to be more non-English, native English speaker students here. But ever since COVID hit and a lot of the workers went back to Japan because they kind of had to, things were shut down, right? We've got a lot more locals, students that are either no Japanese in them at all or maybe half Japanese. So at home, they might speak both English and Japanese, or they might actually, a lot of these kids at home only speak English. We have a lot that have no Japanese in them at all, and they only speak English at home. And they started coming here after, some of them started right before COVID hit, but we've gotten a lot more coming in after COVID, just because it's a small school, it's a private school, it's not too expensive. So it's like, oh wow, and my kid can learn Japanese in this case. Instead of learning English, my kid can learn Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of parents are like, oh yeah, this is kind of neat. So yeah. So we've gotten, the tables have kind of turned in that
Right,
sense, where
right.
we have more English speakers than we do Japanese speakers, which also changes how we teach.
Yes.
Because
of
like I
course.
said, we have to
Adjust.
Yeah,
Yes.
keep them up to date with their
Right.
English, make sure they're still going along at the level that they should be at if they're native English speakers.
Yes.
At the same time as bringing along the ones that aren't native English speakers.
How about the higher level? How about the higher grades? Let's say
Ironically,
middle school, for example.
our fifth graders, I think, are about half and half. I think we have 2 native English speakers and two native Japanese out of the 4 students in fifth grade. Sixth grade, we have more because we have 4 native. There's 6 in sixth grade. Funny. We have 4 native English speakers, but only 2 that are not.
Okay.
And that can be, luckily with them, because again, we would combine 5th and 6th then. And I teach the ones that we call proficient. So those are the ones that are native English speakers.
Okay.
And we pretty much follow a typical 5th and 6th grade English language arts curriculum to try and keep them up to date.
Mm-hmm.
And Ms. Walden teaches the what we call the standard class, which is the more ESL ones. But even in there, they're at varying levels as well, because some of them just got here and they don't know that much English yet.
Right.
And others of them have been here for a few years and they've been coming through our system, so they've actually got a decent little bit of English.
Right.
And that can be challenging, is actually those classes more so than when I have them all together. You know, because when they're all together, they help each other out when they're
Yes.
getting a little frustrated, you know, the ones that are native versus the ones that are not native English speakers. But in the ones where it's truly an ESL class, because it is difficult to find ESL material curriculum that's not conversational. A lot of the ESL materials out there is for conversational English. And it's like, but we're trying to do more than that, you know? And it's really weird too, because if you take a conversational foreign language class, what you're learning is simple phrases and some, you know, like to go and be a tourist somewhere.
Right.
Right? And it's like, but that's not what they're doing here. You know, because again, if they end up here in 10th or 11th or 12th grade, conversational English is not enough. So we have to try and figure out how to get them past conversational and into a higher level of English learning. And it takes a few years to get truly proficient in the language. So when they start out, it's a lot of times if they come here, even if it's 5th or 6th grade or 7th, 8th, or 9th, if they don't have any basis, we got to start back at those very beginning phonics bases, which is why we're enjoying doing it now. This is rather new, keeping 1st and 2nd separate and starting them from their basics. And our hope is that we could actually start doing that through all the grades. So maybe the next one we can separate is keep 3rd and 4th separate, teach all 3rd graders together, all 4th graders.
You're getting more results.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
That's good to know. Well, they say that if you really want to, and I'm not talking about the academic setting, for tourists, for example, it's easier to learn. For example, I've been to Italy, right? So I spent 3 months there. And I went to Okinawa, and what do you call this? My way of learning how to speak Japanese was having conversations with the children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Because they're more patient.
Well,
to
yeah, that
converse,
too.
yeah.
But if you immerse yourself into the language, you will learn it much quicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in Italy, I picked up a few words, but really the most effective way, if you spend more time there, let's say maybe a year, you'll get to know, and you'll get to speak better and understand better.
Oh, yes.
So, but in something like this, you're going through the whole systematic way of learning how to speak and how to understand.
Yes.
Using phonics and pronunciation, of course, is very important. This interview, this episode that I'm doing on my next show is a 2-part episode.
All right.
So I've got you on the English, Japanese English Japanese nationals or any other nationals learning to want to speak English as a second language, of course, right? And so the other part that I wanna cover is the calligraphy class.
Right.
So
Yes.
we gotta uh, uh, stop the interview, and
Right.
another time we're gonna do. I'll probably do another segment, so that way
Right.
we can put it out there, what the Japanese school has to offer.
Oh, yes.
To the-
Yes,
to the
they
public.
definitely have a lot to offer here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I suppose here at the Japanese School of Guam, you can learn both Japanese and English at the same time.
Yes.
And the faculty and the administrative side of it, they encourage that for everybody.
Mhm.
And I'll give you more information on this episode. Thank you, Miss Catherine.
Thank
I hope you
you.
found this interesting.
Yes,
And
definitely.
it's really nice talking to you, and
You're
I'll see you
welcome.
again.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
Thank you for being patient with that video. Despite its flaws, I have to apologize because I took that video myself, and I'm learning. Now I know where to adjust, the closeness of the camera, the volume and all that. I'm learning. I just have I just got my new iPhone Pro, and I'm sorry. I did my best, and I'd like to thank Mrs. Catherine Doherty for being so gracious of giving me that opportunity to interview her about the Japanese School of Guam. And I apologize to the Japanese School of Guam faculty and administrators for the quality of that video. But I'm gonna go back there because it's an interesting school, and they're a full curriculum school using Japan style and textbooks, and it's for elementary and middle school children. Okay, and enrollment is going on now. So I have the screen there. It's the Japanese School of Guam. Please call them if you're interested in enrolling your children at their facility. They have small class. Unlike the public school or other schools, they're not overloaded. So you can almost be assured that it's a quality school. And also the opportunity for your children to learn Japanese. If your native tongue is English, there's that opportunity, to learn, for them to learn English. So please, on behalf of the Japanese School of Guam, there's their phone number, and I encourage you to call them if you're interested in enrolling your children. Their number is 671-734-8024. 671-734-8024. Thank you so much, my viewers. It's another end of an episode. I'm not trying to ignore you. I want to respond, but I was watching that video that I took and just taking notes and making sure that I've got the volume right and the landscape of the video. And I think I can do a better job next time. And also the acoustic plays a big role on the quality of the sound, right, Isaac? And so we're done with another episode. Thank you for staying with me this morning. And again, I apologize. And for the minor technical difficulty. And again, if you're interested in calligraphy, bring your children down to the display at GPO of a calligraphy exhibit um, by the Japanese School of Guam, students from first grade to fourth grade. Thank you for being with me this morning. I'd like to thank my advertisers, my loyal advertisers, and we're going to have new advertisers in March. And hopefully, the old ones, like Roland Watch Repair and Secure Solution, would renew their contract. That would be I would be very, very happy with that. But thank you, viewers and supporters of Kababayan, Kasali Kayo, and for being with me this morning and with Isaac. Isaac, it's a wrap. Thank you so much, my friend.